In January 2026, an American streaming sensation by the name IShowSpeed, real name Darren Watkins Jr., touched down in Kenya as part of his ambitious Speed Does Africa livestream tour covering multiple countries across the continent. What began as a social media event quickly became a national moment with far-reaching lessons for Kenya and for how global content creators interact with African audiences. First, IShowSpeed's Kenya live wasn't just another tourist livestream. It became a record-setting digital moment. During his Nairobi visit, he gained hundreds of thousands of subscribers in real time, pushing his YouTube channel past 58 million subscribers while broadcasting directly from the city. The explosion in viewership, over 100 concurrent viewers at peak, made Kenya one of his most impact stops on the tour. Now, there are some of the lessons here we get. Kenya, and by extension East Africa, isn't just a backdrop for content, it is now an active content engine. This moment underscores Kenya's potential to influence global digital culture, proving that Africa cities can captivate billions of eyes just as much as traditional Western or Asian media hubs. Another lesson that we might learn from this is that the cultural exchange beats one-way content. One of the standout aspects of IShowSpeed's Kenya stop was how much local cultural elements were incorporated into the livestream. First, he visited Upper High School, interacting with students and participating in local activities like basketball. He also sampled and prepared Kenyan cuisine that included ugali, chapati, nyama choma, and mokimo, reacting with genuine curiosity and energy. Third, he shopped at Kenyatta Market, generously overpaying a vendor, which went viral online and was interpreted as both authentic engagement and a symbol of appreciation for local artisans. His visit to Nairobi National Park and animal orphanages tied wildlife conservation imagery directly into his global stream. Now, what's the main lesson that we can learn from that? Audiences everywhere in Kenya and globally respond to content that respects and explores local culture rather than simply observing it from a distance. Authentic cultural immersion not only entertains, it educates and challenges stereotypes about Africa's complexity, diversity, and modern dynamism. The other thing is tourism and national branding is a new tool. Kenya's tourism officials publicly embraced IShowSpeed's visit as a win for brand exposure. Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano highlighted how the streaming event put Kenya's diverse attractions from wildlife parks to urban markets in real-time focus for millions of views. The Kenyan government even hosted a helicopter aerial tour of Nairobi, emphasizing the country's landscape and cityscape in a visually exciting way for the global audience. Now, this is the lesson. In the digital age, non-traditional tourism ambassadors like mega influencers can massively amplify a country's appeal at scale, reaching demographics, Gen Z and younger millennials that traditional tourism campaigns often struggle to engage. That demonstrates that governments and cultural institutions should think creatively about partnerships with global creators to diversify tourism promotion strategies. Now, the power and risk of the crowd driven excitement, because it was crazy, the mood was crazy, everything was crazy. The energy yesterday was amazing. Now, one of the most dramatic scenes from IShowSpeed's visit was the sheer enthusiasm of Kenyan fans. Crowds overwhelmed streets and surrounded his convoy. One fan bypassed security to get his face signed by the streamer. Aha. Traffic and daily movement were disrupted by fan frenzy as people chased him through parts of Nairobi. Now, this highlighted Kenya's deep social media engagement and the emotional intensity of internet fandom, particularly among youth. But it also exposed public safety and crowd management challenges when a global celebrity arrives without extensive logical planning. Now, this is a lesson about that. While fun and enthusiasm is a sign of strong cultural connection, it also signals the need for better coordination between organizers, security officials, and public agencies when hosting high-profile digital personalities. Future visits should balance excitement with safety, planning routes, crowd control, and clear communication to avoid chaos or potential harm. Another thing is that cultural creation is not cultural. Content creation is not cultural understanding. Now, some online responses suggested that while Speed energy was infectious, not all moments fully captured the deeper essence of Kenyan society. Certain Kenyan netizens criticized aspects of the live stream for leaning into superficial or stereotypical portrayals, or for missing opportunities to highlight local nuances like music, traditional practices, or deeper urban experiences. The lesson here is that audience interpretation matters. Content creators must be mindful that viral moments can shape global perceptions of a place. It's one thing to entertain, it's another thing to truly represent the complexity of a society. Creators and local partners should collaborate to ensure that content both entertains and respects cultural narratives beyond the surface level. Now, local voices and global platforms can intersect powerfully. The Kenyan audience response to Speed ranged from pure fan celebration to critical analysis. Some young Kenyans expressed pride that the country helped catapult the streamers' numbers, while others debated how Kenya was spread, whether through urban chaos, local food, wildlife, or everyday life. This kind of dynamic reflects a maturing digital citizenry that is not just passively consuming content but actively shaping its narrative and impact online. The lesson here is that local voices matter. When global platforms spotlight a country, the locals are best positioned to interpret, critique, and build upon that exposure. Now, Kenya's online communities demonstrated an ability to use such moments as opportunities for broader conversation about identity, representation, and digital agency. The other lesson we need to know is about the economic opportunities can expand beyond the screen. Aisha Speed's visit brought attention not only to culture and tourism, but also to local enterprise, from market vendors to students, performers, and tour guides. The spontaneous economics around his visit, vendors gaining attention, services being showcased, and small businesses suddenly featured in global social media feeds, illustrates how digital virality can translate into the economic visibility for everyday Kenyans. Now, the lesson here is that content creators with global followings can become inadvertent economic multipliers. With intentional planning, these visits could be structured to support local businesses, creative industries, and media talents, ensuring that digital engagement translates into sustainable economic benefits. Now, here are the conclusions that can be made through iShowSpace's visit to Kenya. iShowSpace's visit to Kenya was more than a viral live stream. It was a cultural collision and digital milestone. It highlighted Kenya's vibrant energy, digital literacy, and global appeal, while also underscoring the challenges and responsibilities that come with global influencer presence in real communities. The core lessons from Kenya's experience include: 1. Digital influence can amplify national identity when grounded in authentic cultural exchange. Tourism and local branding can benefit from new media partnerships. Managing public enthusiasm requires structural foresight. Representation matters both for local perception and global narrative. Local voices play an essential role in interpreting digital moments, and social media virality can drive economic visibility for businesses and cultural actors. Ultimately, Aisha Speed's Kenya stop wasn't just about one streamer's journey. It was a vivid example of how African stories can be told on a global stage, shaped collaboratively by creators and communities alike.